Alright guys, in this video we are going to teach you about blockchain and what is cryptocurrency. What is so special about it? I mean, the list goes on and on and on. I mean, what is it? Alright, so cryptocurrency is an internet-based medium of exchange which uses cryptographical functions to conduct financial transactions. Basically, you get to become your own banker. You don't have to go to the bank and say, hey, or I'm sorry, not the bank, but go to the store, use your credit card or debit card and say, hey, I'm trying to buy this, and the transaction declines. What the world? Why is it declining? It's my money. I can do what I want. Oh, well, we considered it fraudulent, or oh, I'm sorry, our terminal's down right now, or oh, you're over the spending limit, or oh, I'm sorry, you cannot process. No, we're teaching you how to become your own banker. With Bitcoin, you authorize a transaction, transaction's done, story the end, period. That's it. That's what's so disruptive about this technology and why it's so amazing. Cryptocurrency, this is how cryptocurrencies work. They leverage blockchain technology to gain decentralization, transparency, and immutability. Basically what immutability means is cannot be undone. So here's the transparency is that you can go on to a ledger or on blockchain .info or .in. Let me see, I can pull it up for you. It's basically the full ledger of all the Bitcoin transactions that you can see. I think it's Bitcoin Explorer. Is this it? Yeah. So here, look, this is 3 minutes ago, 12 minutes ago. These are just different hashes that happened. So these were all the transactions that were totaled in. So there's 2,251 transactions. So each block is about 10 to 11 minutes. So look, 12 minutes ago, 25, 27. That's kind of odd to be between the two, but it is what it is. So you can go into the block and you can see all the transactions. See, this is, you can see every single transaction. So these are all the transactions that happened on the block. 24 bucks, 24 bucks, 9 bucks, 9 bucks, da, 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 da. It tells you about each of the transactions. So we can also open up each wallet, go into each wallet, and it'll tell you how many transactions were from this wallet. Now if we go on back over to the blockchain or cryptocurrency. So what is cryptocurrency? No intrinsic value, no physical form. It's not supply. Its supply is not determined by a centralized bank. So right now, being that we're in 2020, almost 2021, we're having a huge issue with inflation. The banks keep printing. I also find this really interesting. Do you guys see what this is? This is Price Waterhouse Coopers. This is a huge company, and they're talking about cryptocurrency and blockchain. So obviously this isn't something that's fly by night. This is disruptive. This is something that needs to be watched. This is something that needs to be looked at. I'm not a financial advisor, but if I see something that is disruptive and huge companies are in it, that piques my interest. Blockchain's benefits and unknowns. The benefits: increased transparency, accurate tracking, permanent ledger, cost reduction. The unknowns are, some people say it's a complex technology. When you really dive into it, it's really not extremely complex. Yes, they have some projects that are more in-depth and complex, but you don't have to go with those projects. I mean, that's more so, it's almost like coding with computers. You go on a website, you don't need to know coding, but you know it works. So you go on the website, do your thing. That's all you need to know. It has regulatory implications, so some people are fearing that it may be regulated. Okay, that's definitely an argument that can be made, but that's with everything. So even gold's regulated, silver's regulated, everything's regulated. Implementation changes. Yeah, there may be some protocols that change from time to time. But for the most part, if you stick with the big projects, you should be okay. Like Bitcoin, Ethereum, Ripple, mainly just looking at the top 10 of like the market cap. let's see, coin market cap, and you can just look. This will give you the list of the top 10. Once you start getting past like top 100, that's when you get into some projects that are very volatile and very risky. There's several different competing platforms. Yes, they do have things like Cash App, or they have things like Venmo, but obviously they're saying something when they're getting into cryptocurrency too. So how does blockchain work? Someone requests a transaction. The transaction is then broadcasted to a P2P network consisting of computers known as nodes. So what these nodes do is they solve blocks and verification or validation, solve blocks and solve different hashes and different functions, and it spits out an output, and basically it goes onto the ledger, and the transaction that was inside that block becomes verified. And once it's verified, the transaction is then combined, added to the block, and you can see these are the chain of blocks, and that's hence where the word blockchain came about. So now once this block, since you initiated the transaction, now the block is added to the chain, the transaction is completed. So the potential applications, it could be used for automotive, financial services, voting. I mean, we just had a huge argument over who won, the Democrats, Republicans. I mean, it's like, it shouldn't be like that. It should be, with time going on, we should be able to have more technology advances instead of less. It seems back then we were able to solve who was our president within a day. Now it goes on for weeks. It's ridiculous. Healthcare, encrypted health information, that's huge. A lot of people are like, oh, I don't want someone to know I have cancer. Or, oh, I don't want someone to know I have coronavirus, or I mean, different things. Or just simply, hey, I don't want someone to know I have a skin rash, or I don't know, just something goofy. I mean, it's great. A lot of people like to have their privacy, and blockchain provides it with allowing encrypted information. And they even have some currencies like Zcash, where it works by the, they call it ZK snarks with Zcash. Basically, here it is. You can see it allows the network to verify transactions without revealing any sensitive information about those transactions. So, for example, some people are like, oh, well, I can transact with him if I know I'm transacting with the correct person, or it's the correct person. So here's a good way to explain ZK snarks. This is the example I was talking about. Zero knowledge proofs is what ZK stands for. So Alice can't see Bob and doesn't know which route he chose, and doesn't know which route he chose. So Alice can't see Bob and doesn't know which route he chose. She wants to know if Bob knows the door's code. So Alice randomly tells Bob a route back. If Bob returns to the route Alice said, it would prove that Bob knows the code. So here's the example with the door with the code. Bob selected a random route, etc. So basically, it's just proof that Bob is Bob without Bob actually saying, "Hey, I'm Bob." So that's where the different technologies come into play, where cryptocurrency and blockchain is very disruptive. It allows you to be your own banker, and that's why it's huge. So at this channel, we're going to teach you how to become your own banker. We're going to learn about cryptocurrencies. And if you like what you saw or like what you heard, please like and subscribe to the channel, and we'll be diving more in depth into other cryptocurrencies and other projects that are up on the. Thanks, guys.